Hello and welcome to New Game Plus. I'm Tim. I'm joined by Kirsty
Finally,
again.
I've got the real Tim back. I'm not through this revolving door anymore. So now, Tim, you have returned from the land of the free, the US of A.
Yes.
How does it feel to be back in Australia?
I'm feeling a little bit more tanned. I did Disneyland, so I was outside. But other than that, so much food and video games. Fantastic.
Yeah, I keep hearing these rumours of 10-layer lasagnas. Like 10-layer lasagnas. And the friend I heard this from is not a big guy at all. I don't know where he put it.
10-layer lasagnas, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
That is a challenge.
It's a great American challenge. But what else did you get up to while you were in America?
E3 was pretty amazing, and obviously you're seeing some of it in, well, pretty much every episode to come.
Enjoy that.
But it was truly like an amazing experience to go there, to talk to all the developers, especially indie developers, people that are so passionate about their games. You can just sit down, have a beer with them, have a sausage roll, and just
sausage roll? Do they have sausage rolls? I thought
a few.
But they don't have pies. They don't understand
like
a meat pie.
Yeah.
That's like Aussie. No. That's like good day.
It's not American enough for them. But yeah, it was amazing.
What was your favourite experience then from America?
Playing Evolve. I was playing as the monster, and I was playing against some foreign team of 4 media team, and I smashed them. It was good.
It's a good feeling. You're a real gamer. Well, of course, as you said, we've got some great coverage coming up for you. We also have our review of Grid. Now, this is a game you got to play while in.
Yes, I did play it briefly at Namco Bandai. I was very bad at it. Not my game. I was just turning into walls left and right, unfortunately. But obviously, we've got some people who are more attuned to that sort of thing.
Get it?
Yep.
Get it? Oh, that was like a dad level joke. But let's get into our first review of Kirby Triple Deluxe.
Now, Kirsty, let's talk about our favourite pink blob, and that of course is Kirby.
It is. Now we've got his new game, Kirby Triple Deluxe, which is still a title that kind of baffles me. Like, you didn't have 3 Kirbys except at the end of a level when you were dancing.
Yeah,
and
that's the only kind of link it has between the title and the actual game itself. So it's Kirby's first game since Kirby Return to Dreamland on the Wii. So, I mean, how does it stack up compared to previous Kirby titles?
Well, my favourite Kirby title, and in fact probably one of my top 5 favourite games of all time, is Kirby's Fun Pack. And the great thing about this new game is it really brought back a lot of happy memories for me. It's similar music, the similar kind of course, the similar powers. And that's a good thing for me. I felt that same kind of fun and warmth that I got from Fun Pack.
It does ease you into it. I mean, it doesn't rely completely on the rose-tinted nostalgia goggles, but it really does have an identity of its own in the form of different power-ups like, Hypernova, Kirby, who just sucks absolutely everything in sight. And it's great to see the environment interact with it as well.
And it really changes it up. Like, I've really enjoyed the puzzles here. Like, of course, it starts easy and gets harder, as always. But, I don't know, that Hypernova actually did add another interesting element to it. There were some times when I genuinely did not know what to do. And that's
all part of the
Nintendo.
Yeah,
It's funny you say that because it's some really difficult puzzles balanced out with like a ridiculously large amount of lives. Like, there is no fear of death.
Definitely a weird type of homogenization, but let's just roll with it. I mean, it's Nintendo. It definitely will work. I mean, they're onto something here.
They are, but I really love the battle game.
Yep. There's plenty of extras. Kirby Fighters. I'll definitely be playing you later on.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of extras to be had. So if you're one of those people who want a lot more bang for their buck, Kirby Triple Deluxe, there's plenty of stuff on offer.
Yep.
It looks great. Plays great. Runs at a really silky smooth 60 frames per
second. It does,
second.
and it actually makes really good use of the 3D feature. So it actually tries to make it worthwhile. Opening cutscene wasn't great, but the rest of the graphics worked really nicely, and everything just interacted really well.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a complete package. As a complete package, it's pretty much fantastic. I mean, Kirby games, they're under the radar, but they're always still consistently good. So definitely get on it.
So here's a good 3DS to expand your library. Have you played a Kirby game in the past, though?
Yes, very long time ago when I had my little, I think it was Game Boy Pocket, the silver one, that was black and white. I had Kirby on there as well, and I played that religiously.
Yeah. I think you'll really enjoy this game. It's something that we mentioned is that it felt like an old school Kirby game. I mean, it's pretty standard. You're going from the left part of the screen to the right part of the screen with puzzles, getting powers. It feels really nice, and surprisingly robust as well. So, would you play it, Timmy?
Yeah,
on that premise alone, just telling you about this story mode.
I would. I haven't played a Kirby game in a long time, so I've missed out on a few, and I do look for things to play on my 3DS. But this looks like a fun game, and I'm happy to relieve Kirby.
Yeah, well, the great thing about this, and we didn't get to talk about this that much, is Kirby Fighters. It is literally Super Smash Brothers for Kirby. I mean, Kirby was the OP character of 64. Like, if you wanted just to win God tier, it was always Kirby.
Oh, I still play Kirby in Melee, though.
The thing I dislike about Melee is his fire, and that's the funny part, actually. That's the one thing I really enjoyed about Kirby 3 Deluxe, was it felt like I could see his Smash moves.
Yeah.
So I was like doing the fireball, I was like, oh, yeah, that's from Smash. And then I was doing like the hammer, that's from Smash. Yeah. Like I was actually finding all of his little powers and learning where they're all coming from. But this, like the Kirby Fighters is genuinely hype. Yeah. Like genuinely hype. Hammer is OP.
And it's like something that's extra on the game. It's not something that's in the main story of the game.
No.
It's usually the bolt-ons for these sort of games are just like little gimmicky mini games. But it's really good to see it's something so like, I don't know,
fleshed out. Yeah. And it works. It didn't feel gimmicky. But it's the guys who made this game, the same guys who make Smash Brothers. Yeah. So, and you've got to play Smash Brothers, and I'm so jealous, and I can't wait. But I hope you enjoy 3D.
So the last half-brick game I looked at was Bears vs. Art, and I hated it. I'm just going to say the word hate because, let's be realistic, I hated it. So I see they've got a sale, they're giving away their games for free, fantastic. Let's give them another shot. So I downloaded Fish Out of Water. Now, it's a very simple kind of game. You take the fish, and it's not just fish, but I explained it at the start with a very funny little joke. And you fling them across the screen, and it's about how far you can make them go, and they'll bounce along the water until they come to a complete stop. Different fish have different angles, different aptitudes, that kind of thing, blah, 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 blah. It's a fun little distraction. It's certainly not going to rewrite the rules of depth in mobile gaming, but the nice thing about it is, yes, there are microtransactions, but they're not in any particular way essential. And the great thing with it is there's incentive to play as often as possible. The weather changes, I guess, fairly randomly. So it'll show you the time it is at the moment and what the weather conditions are. Then it'll show you the next time that the weather's going to change, so you can adjust accordingly. So obviously, the wetter it is, the less distance you travel, the sunnier it is. But it works really, really well to incentivize you to come back and play it without having to then tick out money because you've run out of tickets to get in there. And this is the kind of half-brick game that I'm used to, and the half-brick kind of game that I really enjoy. The simple, well-designed, like very bright and colourful game with a simple mechanic that's fun and makes you come back. And hopefully they go more down this path than they do down the Bears vs. Art part. Really don't play Bears vs. Art. I don't think I can say that enough.
I'm here with Zephyr from Batman Arkham Knight. Now, the big addition to this game, obviously everyone knows the Arkham series, and what makes it different from the other Arkham games?
The biggest new thing is the Batmobile. I don't know if you can see in that shot there, but Batmobile. Everyone's always wanted it. We've always wanted to do it. So it's here. It's big. It's bold. It's actually just parked around the corner. Yeah. Built by West Coast Customs. Yeah, man. I mean, it's humongous. We've got pursuit mode where you can tear the street, race around corners, track down supervillains, and then you've got battle mode which you can quickly burst into, and you've got all the weapons at your disposal.
Now, obviously, how much is this going to feature in the game? Because this is what is different about it. It's still got that same core Arkham gameplay. What is how much will the Batmobile be involved?
I mean, you're right. We've got the critically acclaimed gameplay experience still right there, and we've harnessed that, and we just brought it to the next level by introducing the Batmobile. It was never going to be easy because a car and a guy, very different things. Yeah. We're bringing man and machine together though this time around. We kind of bring that gameplay with the car. Like I say, you can switch between battle mode, pursuit mode, glide out of the car, straight into combat, straight into Predator. It's a whole lot of fun to be had.
Now, we had a bit of a tease at the press conference with Scarecrow popping up at the end. We're proud of that. Like, were people like off-put by that, tricked by it?
Yeah, I mean, we got a good response in result of that. Obviously, some people would have been like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Yeah. Is this intentional? Yeah. It looks like an actual corruption. But no, it's all intentional, obviously. Scarecrow is just messing with your psyche, messing with us, Batman, viewers, everyone. He's a big new character for us, you know. He's the big guy. He's the man in charge. He stepped in the shoes of Joker. Spoiler alert, obviously we killed Joker in Arkham City. Yeah. But yeah, he's the man in charge. He's the one like about to inject this fear toxin on everybody, and he wants Batman to see it, to be afraid, to break him down psychologically.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll look forward to seeing the game.
Cool.
So we were lucky enough to play a bit of Evolve. I got some time on with a monster. What did you play?
I had time as everyone, and it was awesome. Like, what do you think?
I had so much fun as the monster. There's just so much variety in how you can play that monster. Different things you evolve into. You can go for the easy prey first or the harder prey that fights back. And as you level up your build, like you can go more range-based, or you can get that aftershock move and really get into everyone's face and do some good damage.
And plus, it's always fun to eat smaller creatures than you.
Yeah.
But what I really loved about working in the team of 4 is that you really have to rely on each other. So there's great just sense of camaraderie. Like, if you don't work together, you will die really quickly. But when you do, it creates something beautiful. And that beautiful thing is killing a ginormous monster. And what's better than that?
Yeah, definitely a 4-versus-1 game. That one player can show off a lot of skill in how they play, but being on a team of 4 really does require the teamwork. And there are 4 classes, but there's different ways to play them, yeah?
There are, definitely. So you can kind of come up with your own strategy with each, but it's best to pick the one that works best with you. What really surprised me was how well balanced it was. Like, it might be 4 versus 1, but neither one has any particular weight over the other.
Yeah. And you certainly feel that early game, monster's not too strong, but as you feed up, you get a lot stronger, and it was awesome fun. Can't wait till it comes out.
Definitely.
Okay, we're here outside the LA Convention Center. I'm here with Dennis from Hotline Miami 2. How are you going?
It's good.
Today we're showing off, well, you guys are showing off the level editor. We're looking at, well, the Hotline Miami level editor. What can you say about the editor?
Yeah, it's something that the fans have been asking for since pretty much the first game came out. So we're super happy that we can bring it to them, and yeah, it's gonna be, I hope it's gonna be easy to make, like sadistic levels for your friends, and yeah.
Yeah, certainly. Looking at it from, I'm not a very creative person, and I think it was very easy to approach, and you can make some really ridiculous levels with all the stuff that's in there. Now, it is based on Game Maker, but it's not exactly Game Maker.
No, Jonathan, our programmer, he built it from scratch using Game Maker, but it's its own, code.
Yeah, so all the source code and stuff is in there, all the art assets, and can you tell a bit how the enemies work as well?
Yeah, so it's important to know that it's a Hotline Miami level editor and not a top-down shooter level editor. So there's some rules you have to follow how the enemies patrol or work. So I think some basic knowledge of the first game at least have tried it, so you know what it's about, and then you can sit down with it.
Now, I'm definitely looking forward to some very sadistic levels made by the community. Thank you, Dennis, for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome to week 8 of our competition, thanks to Roccat and Con Computers. Timmy, welcome back. Yes. We have our PC guy back.
I'm back to stamp my authority. Here last week you had some LOL versus Dota shenanigans.
Absolutely. When the cat is away, the mice will play.
Yes.
So speaking of neither cats nor mice, we have a keyboard to go with, Max.
So the Roccat Isku keyboard. Obviously, if you're not looking into the mechanical keyboards, you can have a look at this one. Brightness levels, something
really
that you're very excited about.
I'm really excited. It has 6 brightness levels, and that's fantastic to me because I remember getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning for the Nintendo press conference, and I was so blinded by the awesomeness of the Nintendo press conference, my keyboard really irritated me. So that's really cool, but it has other cool features. It's got all the macro keys, it's really comfortable to use with a wide wrist rest, and all the usual fancy things.
It has like all the usual stuff you get with keyboards, but Roccat Talk as well is something cool you can do if you've got a Roccat mouse as well. Maybe
exactly.
That one that you've won from us.
So. Exactly, one from previous weeks or weeks to come. Now, you were telling me a cool story about these wild cats at Disneyland, which is really intense. So I got thinking, the question for this week is, how many stripes are there on Rocky the Roccat cat, the logo cat?
That's an awful name.
It is not. It is a strong name. You're Adrian. So, all right, fine. The second part of the question, in 25 words or less, give Roccat cat a new name and
justify
why.
it.
Justify why you're giving him that new name. So enter via the usual channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, erotic fanfiction contest at newgameplus.tv. 25 words or less. How many stripes on the Rockout logo and new name for the Rockout cat and why.
Thank you.
Cover mechanic, right? You and your crate are safe now. Oh, hey! Welcome to spectacular Sunset City. Okay, here's the situation. A contaminated energy drink has turned everyone into mutants. There are survivors doing whatever they can to get by. But some of them are dicks, attacking others for their stuff. Whoops, ignore that one. But it's not all bad. All this place needs is a hero. One who doesn't just survive, but does it with style. Who is this hero? Me! Not me? Oh, you! Can you survive the many dangers? Can you help others survive? Can you save Sunset City? Can you? For the love of God, can you? Of course you can. It's a f***ing video game.
Now, Sunset Overdrive was one of my big, exciting games that I was really interested in. The trailer is different from what the first trailer was like, and
Yes,
you're
it
nodding
is.
your head a
No,
lot.
I am, because I completely agree. Like, I remember watching that trailer when it came out at last E3 and sharing some of the same excitement with you. And then this one, I don't know. And it's not necessarily the content or the self-awareness of it. It's just, it reminds me of Toy Story. It looks like a Toy Story film. As in the animation style. I'm looking at it, I'm looking at Woody. Like, it's to me, and that's a weird thing to have because, yes, Toy Story is a fantastic movie series, but it's a kid's movie series, and then he's swearing, and it's like, what happened to you, Woody? You're so nice.
he turned punk and just, like, started drinking energy drinks.
Yeah.
But it's the main thing for me. It's an Insomniac game. The guy sounds like Captain Cork. I'm not sure if it's the same voice actor, but just crazy Insomniac shooter that's not Ratchet and Clank. I'm so looking forward to it.
No, and it does. And it does look interesting. I liked all the hooks and the swinging, you know, and just show off. So I would be interested. And I did like the self-aware jokes. I didn't think that, there was a couple of them I was like, this has become a dad joke. But there was a few of them like, oh, no, that's pretty funny. Like, particularly when the soldier got, just attacked as he was trying to walk out the door. Like, that was pretty funny. But, yeah, I'm interested to see if that Toy Story vibe I get carries on into the game.
Now, Don, I'm partial to a good racing game.
As am I, Jason.
So, you know what I'm not partial to, though?
Living once?
Okay, we should contextualize that. I hate the use of YOLO, non-ironically. I hate the idea of uploading vids to YouTube because it's cool and you need to do it for your
But
fam.
Jason, the 18 through 24 demographic love uploading clips of their racing games to YouTube.
Time to play some Minecraft and Scream, apparently. But no, if I wanted that, that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that if I was playing a racing game, say like, Grid 2, Dirt 3. That's the last thing I'd want to do.
It is something that Codemasters has been leaning into for a fair while with their racing games, haven't they? But thankfully, they have taken a step back from all of that. They've brought it back to the pure racing weekend with Grid Autosport.
Now, this is the thing with Grid. It's always been a really nice engine. When it's all said and done, the underpinnings are what make the game strong. The actual driving has never really bothered me. The engine is nice, it's crisp. It's customizable enough that you aren't going to alienate either real side of the audience, but you're not going to bore them either.
No. And indeed, the driving mechanics still remain some of the best in class. They've stepped back from the arcade. It feels a bit more real. Still fairly fun and video gamey, but slightly simulatory as well. So as you go through the various disciplines, your touring cars, your open wheelers, your street cars, your drifts, they still manage to remain fun, even the drift at times.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing as well, is it looks nice as well. So you've got a game that handles well, that looks nice. I mean, the reflections on the cars, the way the trees and stuff move, it looks fantastic. There's no doubting that. But, I mean, this is the problem. We've had this YOLO Swagons for so long, and it's nice to have a little bit of I don't want to say a story, but to have something driving you forward.
And at least say something like Dirt 3, as much as that leaned into the YOLO Swagons, it had some pretty menus, some ambitious menus. This just feels a little sterile by comparison. And which also gets me to my other main issue with Grid Autosport. For a game that's all about fast-paced racing, the actual pacing of the game itself is slow. Because the game progresses through seasons. You have to, once you get into a season, you're locked to a particular discipline for a set amount of races. And these seasons can go up to like, say, 12, 14 races. You're stuck there for a fair while.
And that's brutal. And I think that's the thing. They've reacted to the criticism about the YOLO Swagon stuff, all that kind of thing. And they've gone completely the other way and made it too sterile. Even Forza has moved away from that to some extent, with Forza Horizon. So they understand the idea of having a vibrant kind of world and a culture surrounding the game. So it's interesting to see them go completely sterile. But when it's all said and done, it's a brass tacks grid game.
Yes, ultimately, at the end of the day, I still love the racing. I can sort of ignore the issues. I can ignore just sort of plain nature to just drive, and that still remains great.
Now, Grid's a series that is a bit at home on the PC. Simulation racing series, I've never been very good at it, but it's been good fun.
Well, I can see why you liked it, because it is on PC, but how did you go going from playing on a PC to actually being in a real car? Because, like, were you looking for like a WASD
Yeah,
keys
just
in
get
the
rid
car?
of the steering wheel, WASD, fine, it's
fine. It's fine. But look, I don't mind simulation games. I actually quite enjoy Gran Turismo, which was a big switch for me because I'm a bit of a Need for Speed fan. So switching from like real arcade style, like drifting into corners, and then suddenly you have to brake into corners. And I'm like, I break into corners in real life. Why do I want to break into corners? Well, I don't really break into corners, but break into corners in real life. Why would I want to do that in a video game?
And just do it in Daytona and switch to like two gears lower and just slide around the corner. It's fine.
Yes, man. But you do get used to it. Like, I mean, it's not to say I don't enjoy the simulation one, but I think I prefer the arcade ones just because of the over-the-top nature of it, you know, just because there is that kind of that craziness to it.
Yeah, now Grid does have a lot of like content to it. You can do all the different types of racing, and when I was playing it at A3, it was fun, but I just wasn't very good at it.
So it makes it difficult.
Yeah.
But anyway, now that we've got, of course, more E3 content coming for you in the coming weeks, we're currently busy this week. Man, it is hardcore.
Busy.
We've come straight off the back of Oz Comic Con, which was great fun. So we've got content from that coming up for you.
And straight into Computer Games Bootcamp, which is all week.
All week at Monash. So for those of you there, hello everybody. We'll see you through the week, which is very exciting. But of course, at the end of this week, we have the Couch Warriors Rambat on the Sunday, on the 13th of July, which is also the same day as the Pokemon Video Game National Championships. That's the national championships at the Town Hall, which is going to be fun.
Speaking of esports, the Dota 2 International is starting up. The groups, the playoffs start on the 8th, and the group stage starts on the 9th. So get keen, $10 million prize pool already.
It's insane, like it's crazy. But anyway, wrap us up, Timmy.
So visit our website, www.newgameplus.tv.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/NewGamePlusTV.
Follow our Twitters and Instagrams at NewGamePlusTV.
And check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/NewGamePlusTV.
Thank you, Kirsty.
Thank you, Timmy, and we will see you guys next week.